Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2017 mid-month readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. As always, the thank yous first. Thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and all your support, feedback, and comments. Keep them coming. You guys are brilliant. Thank you to my regular clients as well for being so consistent with your feedback and how our readings play out in your lives. I do love hearing updates from my clients. And just a general thank you to all those of you who continue to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. And if any of you are interested in a one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can click on the About or Description button on my YouTube channel's homepage for more information and my email address, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do a wide variety of readings and I read 6 days a week full time. So turnaround time is pretty quick. I usually get back with you within the same day, and we can schedule a reading live or recorded anywhere between a few days upwards of 2 weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time we can set something up for you. So if you're interested, email me and we'll go from there. So these are general readings. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well, particularly if this one doesn't resonate with you. You may find that one of the other ones plays out a little more predictively for you or just gives you additional insight and clarification. So try to watch your sun, moon, and rising if you know them and if you can. These are the mid-month readings. I am recording these in the first half of July, but they are for the last 2 weeks of July. So I will be pulling 2 cards each for those remaining 2 weeks with an additional 5th card from the bottom of the deck for overall energy and guidance. So this reading is for the earth sign of Taurus. Taurus the bull, our lovely, determined, rock solid, sometimes stubborn Taurians. What does the last half of July 2017 have in store for the earth sign of Taurus? Taurus, July 2017, mid-month, Taurus. Okay, Taurus, we have the 7 of Wands, followed by the 5 of Pentacles. Next to that, we have the 7 of Pentacles, followed by the 2 of Wands. So earth and fire energy. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy is the Fool. Okay. So Taurus, I get the feeling that a lot of you are going to be perhaps choosing to walk away from a situation. Some of you are fighting for a new beginning of some kind. Give me just a minute. Let me look at this. Fill this out one more time. Ugh. My cat is hiding under the desk and I can't quite get to him, so there is a chance we might be video bombed by my feisty feline. He's named Bandit for a reason. He has video bombed me a few times before. I don't like him under my desk because I'm always afraid he's going to chew on the cords under there. Okay, Taurus, let's begin. I'm actually going to start with your crowning card, which represents, from the bottom of the deck, which represents your overall energy and guidance. We have the Major Arcana card of the Fool. This is my favorite Major Arcana card in the whole deck. I love the Fool. I printed out an 8x10 of this color included and have it on my refrigerator. I love this card. The Fool represents new beginnings. The Fool actually represents the breath before the first step of a new journey, a new path, a new start. The Fool is actually about that time period, that energy in between something coming to an end and something new beginning. That place and time that's where you're considering the possibilities. They're infinite, limitless. The possibilities are infinite. You haven't made a decision yet. It's kind of like the breath before the first step. The Fool actually also represents the Fool in the present position. I like this as your crowning card. It's incredibly powerful. In the present position, the Fool can be the most powerful the most powerful card in the tarot in the present position because it represents possibilities and options you haven't chosen them yet, you're considering them. So that power is infinite, it's limitless. You're considering anything and everything that might or could be. The Fool also represents taking a risk, taking a leap of faith, doing something different than you've ever done before. In relationships and dating, this can represent maybe dating somebody different than what you're used to dating, or needing to take a look at dating somebody different than what you're normally been used to, especially if you've had a series of unsuccessful relationships. In business, it can represent maybe taking a risk, taking a new job, maybe something that you're thinking, I'm not sure if I have everything I need to do this job, but you're going to walk in faith anyway, stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking a risk. The Fool is also here to remind us that even though it's good and wise and practical to set goals and steps to reaching those goals, to not be too focused on just the end goal, just the destination. The Fool is here to remind us that the true joy and value is in the journey itself, is in each step of the journey, what we learn, and just the carpe diem experience of it all. So overall energies, new beginning, considering the new beginnings, considering possibilities, the options that are in front of you. Some of you are fighting for a new beginning because there's definitely defensive energy here. Some of you are going to be leaving a situation and going on to new beginnings. You may be taking a risk or taking a leap of faith in doing so. Remember that it's about the journey more than it is about reaching the destination and goal. So that's your overall energy, Taurus. So we find ourselves around the middle of July 2017. Time being somewhat fluid, of course, with the energy of the Seven of Wands, followed by the Five of Pentacles. So Wands is fire energy, and in the tarot, the suit of Wands deals with, well, it's a very fiery, dynamic suit. It can point to things like career, creative, or artistic endeavors, because the fire energy of Wands is it's creative energy, it's manifesting energy, it's building energy, it's making things come into possibility, turning dreams into realities, putting the action behind the idea, which is also a really good accompaniment to the Fool as well. It's change, movement, action, power. It's a fluid and action-oriented, forward-moving energy. Wands is. The Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is primarily a defensive card. Sometimes it can represent being too defensive, so that might be true for some of you Taurians out there. Just be vigilant about that. But it represents fundamentally defending something that you feel strongly about because of how much you have invested in it. Now, this could be a belief system. It could be an actual project. It could be a person. Perhaps you're standing up for yourself or for somebody else. Because it's about something you feel very strongly, and it could be a moral situation or dilemma where you're standing up for yourself or you're standing up for somebody else because it's what you feel is right and you feel very strongly about it. You could be, and that's in relationships, the relationship arena perhaps, or just standing up for an injustice because it's connected to a belief system you feel strongly about. It could represent defense. The energy is defensive, protecting, guarding, defending. It could be defending a project or job or idea that you feel strongly about because of how much time, work, effort you've put into it. It could represent in job and career as well, defending that, holding on to that. I'm getting that for some of you are in, I'm sorry for those of you for whom this resonates. Some of you are in a situation where you're having to defend yourself against accusations that are false or not valid, or the truth of them has been twisted somehow, and you're being put in a position where you actually have to defend yourself, defend your actions against some kind of accusations. And it's kind of, for some of you, it's put you on the outside of a group maybe that you were belonging to. This could be a circle of friends. This could be a home or family dynamic. It could be a job or a work situation too. And I feel like you've been accused or being talked badly about. And this group of friends or family system or work environment, it's kind of put you on the outside. It's kind of like maybe people are looking, whispering, kind of shunning you. You feel like you're kind of on the outside, maybe feeling a bit rejected or abandoned. I'm getting for some of you, it's like, well, I thought some of you guys were my friends and you're not standing up and defending me at all. It's kind of what I'm getting. I'm sorry to hear that for those of you for whom it resonates, because the Seven of Wands is paired with the Five of Pentacles. So Pentacles is earth energy, and in the tarot, the suit of Pentacles often points to things in our earthly, tangible, concrete world, the day-to-day world we live in. It can often point to things like finances, money, resources, assets, property, tangible earth things, that things we can see and touch and feel. You can translate the same energy, of course, in the relationship arena of your life, spirituality. It can point to tangible results from maybe intangible efforts that you've put into something. Earth energy is solid sense of continuity, being able to really touch something, knowing that it's real. The Five of Pentacles can represent financial or material insufficiency and lack, or the fear of financial insufficiency and lack, not having enough money to pay all your bills, or being afraid that there's not going to be enough money. So for some of you, what you may be defending, it could be a job or a career path perhaps that you feel is okay. I'm actually getting, this is an interesting message, very specific. I'm actually getting that some of you, it could be some of you are young people, you've just chosen a career path or a career track, which for some reason is meeting with disapproval. It could be disapproval from parents, family, friends. They're saying this isn't realistic, this isn't practical, there's not enough, stability or safety in this kind of career track or project. Oh, you want to go be a painter or artist? You're not going to be able to support yourself with that. Actually, what you're defending is your choice of career path. And so I'm getting that for some of you, it's choosing that maybe in your 20s or something. And I'm also getting a similar message for somebody or a group of somebodies who are older, that you've been in a certain job or in a certain career path for quite some time, and it's been very reliable and stable, and for some reason you've chosen to, but it wasn't your dream. What you've been doing wasn't like your ideal dream, and for some reason maybe the kids are gone now, or you've chosen a different career path, or you've chosen to just quit and go off in another direction, and it's almost like everybody around you is kind of like looking at you like you're crazy, kind of putting you on the outside of things because they're not supporting it, but you're like defending it, standing up for it. It's really interesting, a very specific, interesting message. So for others of you, this is whatever the initial conflict is, it's going to vary what you're defending for or against. But it feels like for a lot of you, whatever the situation is has put you maybe on the outside of a group, or I'm getting like people talking about you or whispering. It's made you feel kind of abandoned or rejected, or outside of a group. This could be within a church as well for some of you, a parish or a spiritual religious organization. You may be standing up against that, standing up for somebody else. Bucking the system is kind of what I'm hearing too, whether that's in a corporate world sense or a religious world sense. For some, it might be that case. It might be both for different groups of you. Again, the specifics are going to vary because it's a general reading and there's thousands of you watching, but the energy fundamentally remains the same. Defensive, protective, energy, maybe feeling shut out, abandoned, rejected, not accepted, feeling kind of maybe afraid and insecure because of that too, and trying to defend yourself or somebody else, or an idea, a belief system. Could even be a project as well. Because your overall energy is new beginnings. Your right to those new beginnings could be what you're defending as well. I'm hearing that. Boy, I'm getting some interesting specific messages for you, Taurus, for the July mid-months. some of you, either somebody, it may be you or somebody close to you or somebody within the family, is getting out of jail or getting out of prison in the last part of July as well. Or you may be helping in the or they're in jail or in prison. You're helping with some kind of defense or getting them out early, helping them kind of break from that and start moving forward into a new beginning. Wow, that's pretty specific. I can't wait to hear who that resonates for. If those of you want to email me about, how this plays out for you, whether you're asking for a personal reading or not, if you don't want to put it on the public YouTube channel, you can email me as well. Some of my subscribers do that too. That's a pretty specific message. Okay, at or towards the end of July, around the last week or so, time being fluid, as I always say, give or take. Time is a human construct, so of course Spirit doesn't quite see it in the same linear way we do because it was created for us. So time is always a little fluid. It's not always very specific. But around this time, the last week of July 2017, we have the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the Two of Wands. It's all earth and fire energy. So I think from a lot of you, earth and fire energy, it could be that for more than half of you, whatever this situation is, could be around career, artistic or creative endeavors, or money, finance, work, job, that kind of energy. Some of you, it may be, personal relationships as well, but probably more than half of you, it's more about wanting to start something, wanting to build or create something new. And that could be, in job, career, finances as well. So we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Wands in the last week of July. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of reflection and assessment, of looking at what you've invested in something, money, time, resources, your heart and soul, and looking at what you've gotten back. What have your investments gleaned you? What have all your efforts gotten you? It's harvest time on this card. You can see this woman, she's put in the time, she's planted the seeds, sustained it, nurtured it. The tree has grown, it's flowered, and now there's fruit and it's ready to be picked, represented by these pentacles. Seven represents a decent harvest. It's not huge, but it's not tiny. So she's ready to pick. It's harvest time. The ladder's here. She's got her basket ready to put the pentacles in, but she hasn't yet begun to pick. She's looking at what's there. What have I gotten from what I invested? Did I get at least what I put into it back? Did I get more than I invested in it? Did I get what I expected to get? Is it worth picking? Should I pick it and leave and start another crop, do something else different elsewhere? Or is it good enough for me to pick it and stay in the same place, continue to grow the same crop, continue to invest in this same thing? Or do I just leave and start something else over again somewhere else? It's reflection and assessment on where you are in your life, perhaps on a specific relationship, situation, job, project, looking at all the effort you put into it, everything that you've put into it, and what the results are, and if that balances out for you enough to continue investing in it, or whether you need to go off and start something new, or perhaps change the current situation or change it a bit if you can. And it's paired with the Two of Wands, which is a card about long-term planning, big picture goals, looking at down the road and figuring out what your end goal is. The Two of Wands represents being at a crossroads. This man is at a crossroads and he needs to make a decision. Do I choose this path or that path? Do I go left or right? The key in choosing the right path, or to help choose the right path, to make the right path more clear, is in long-term thinking and planning. Okay, if you have a decision, a choice to make, a path to take, look down the road. What's your end result? What are you ultimately hoping for? If it's a relationship, what kind of a relationship do you want to ultimately be in, end in? Where do you want to go in? Does it match the current relationship you're in? If you continue to invest in the relationship that you're in, is it going to realistically move you closer to what you want? And if not, then you have some decisions to make. In terms of work and career, it's the same thing. Looking at your current job, where you're at, what's your long-term goal? Where do you ultimately want to end up in job, work, career, finances, and take a look at where you are now, and if it's worth continuing to invest in. If you think there's a good chance that continuing to stay and invest in what you're doing now is going to eventually get you to that goal, then of course you stay. But if not, is there changes you can make, or do you just need to leave and start somewhere else or do something different? The same with any projects or anything like that. And so how does this play out realistically? So this defensive energy, for those of you that are like defending yourself against accusations from a group or within a group system of some kind, I feel like you're going through that, whatever this defending, protecting, guarding situation is, and it's causing you to go, okay, I'm looking at everything I've invested in this and what I actually have and the situation that I'm in. Is this worth staying in? Is this actually going to get me where I want to be eventually? Because if not, is there a way to stay and change it, or should I just leave and start over somewhere else? Because it's all about new beginnings. Some of you, this may be I feel like a lot of you are going to be walking away from a situation or relationship. Not everybody. That's what this contemplation energy is. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I try and change things? Ultimately, it's about taking a leap of faith, maybe taking a risk. Some of you, the leap of faith might be in staying and continuing to invest in this, working through whatever this is. Some of you, I think more than half of you, it's going to be leaving, walking away from a situation or relationship or something, because it's not. You have this, after thinking about it, you have this, and going through whatever this defensive energy is, you have this feeling staying is not going to get you where you ultimately want to end up. So you're going to leave to start something else. Some of you are just making a conscious choice to stop what you're doing now, relationship, work, career-wise, and start something new, even though you're getting a lot of flack about it. And you're kind of in the position of having to defend and justify yourself over and over again. Your overall energy being the Fool, it's new beginnings. It's considering possibilities and potential. And I think, you could easily end up at the end of July and the beginning of August still in that energy, thinking about the possibilities, the options, and that's where a lot of you may end up July, still kind of thinking, considering new beginnings, changing things. Do I stay? Do I go? Am I getting out of this what I need to get out of this? Well, this turned out a little longer than I had anticipated for the mid-months, but it goes the way it needs to go, I guess. So Taurus, that pretty much wraps up your July 2017 mid-month reading. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope it's brought you some insight, wisdom, or at least hasn't confused you too much. There was a lot of specific messages for specific people out there, so that was kind of interesting experience for me as a psychic, always is when it comes in that specific. I always look forward to hearing the feedback from people for whom it resonates. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the August general readings. I will be in Eastern Europe at that time because I am going to be traveling around, but you'll still see me posting. I still work with clients while I'm gone, and I love doing that. So you will probably see some different backgrounds over the next couple of months rather than my normal home base here. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, if you haven't read with me before, you can click on that About or Description button on my YouTube channel's homepage. Excuse me, frog in my throat. And email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. Until I see you again, Taurus, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.